So I just learned about an hour and a half ago from Dabu7 that ATMs, particularly TD ATMs, have not been functioning properly. Whether or not this is a systemic collapse, I sure hope not, but there has been some thinkers that have predicted something akin to a jubilee. Now, this is kind of into numerology, whether or not there's any real basis in this notion. The idea is that it bases back to almost biblical times, that there's like periods of time in which debts are forgiven and or other consequences, and the idea was that today was the last day for the debt jubilee. And if that's in fact the case, and I haven't really deeply researched it, there was some predictions that banking systems could go down. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully indeed that these banking systems do not collapse. But there are some issues looking just empirically at some of the data here. Deutsche Bank, one of the biggest banks in the world, has recently seen their stocks dramatically decline. Now, it's been going down for quite some time, but very thoughtful thinkers have even predicted it could be a Lehman Brothers 2.0 event. They have sort of their hands in over 54 trillion, I've heard in some articles, in derivatives, and enough to cause, potentially systemic collapse if indeed the bank did go down. Angela Merkel said that she would not bail it out because she has a pretty strong, it's hard to say what her intentions are here, but she said she wouldn't bail out Greece and so forth, and so she'd be contradicting herself, and so she may or may not do that if it did indeed fall. There is also some other issues that have recently come, or not issues, things that have been happening. So the SDR is potentially going to be online very soon, particularly through the BRICS nations like Brazil, China, India, and Russia particularly. Don't know all the details on this, but it could indeed, if it's true, replace to some degree the petro-backed dollar, the United States dollar. Simultaneously, just I think yesterday, the UN handed over the internet, the United States handed over the internet to the UN. People like Stefan Molyneux, interesting thinker, he was arguing that our freedom of speech on the internet could very well be sabotaged from that. Whether or not he's right, it's hard to say, it's a complex issue, but he was particularly looking at countries, if it's internationalized, like, some of the Islamic countries, and their stance on freedom of speech is far lesser than the United States, so could be kind of catastrophic in that sense. So let's hope there's nothing happening here. Pulling out a few $100s might be just in case, as a certain safeguard, if indeed other banks do start to go down. It's been about an hour and a half since TD's ATMs have stopped working. I still don't think they're up yet. Another safeguard that I really believe in personally is heirloom seeds. There are periods of time throughout the Great Depression where heirloom seeds traded at greater cost per ounce than gold because of their life-giving quality. They are indeed seeds that you can take out the seeds and then replant year after year. So they're a great safeguard if indeed we enter a depression of sorts. I would have it rather than gold in my way, and you can buy them on Amazon if it's still up and running for about $10. So for about 11,000 seeds, quite good number. Probably not good quality seeds, but you can get quite a bit for a small amount of money. Anyways, I hope you're well. I hope this doesn't happen. Just a warning, I guess. I don't like doing that, but anyway, be well.